I'm not one of them mainstream cunts, I'm that one full of pain and love.
Going, brother?
Alright, self, mate.
I can't complain. So I'm asking a whole bunch of questions today, and one of the questions is, do you think that population control is a real thing?
Yeah. I actually do. It's getting too populated in Melbourne, especially, I believe. Not to be sound racist or anything, but there's a lot of Muslims and Asians. There should be more Aussies. The Aussies are getting swiped out.
So what is the definition of an Aussie? Like, what is Aussie culture?
Aussie, you know, outback. An outback fellow. Someone likes kicking back over the barbie with his mates, watching the footy. You know, watching the cricket even, you know. To me, that's an Aussie. But I suppose then you go to Asian and you go look at their own cultures as well. But you know what I mean? Like.
So would you say that Aussie culture is essentially a drinking or a drug culture?
Not really.
No?
I reckon it's more of a communication or what's the word? Communication benefit sort of situation.
Well, because we have so much different
diversity. There's so many different type areas of the world that people are coming from, all different life experiences. I mean, everyone's got a different life experience that when some person tells their life and they hear another one, they, you know, interact that way. Trading stories, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what do you think in terms of our system when it comes to treating those that are on drugs and stuff like that? Do you think that it's better that we go to rehabs and all this stuff? Do you think that
better than go to rehabs than go to jails?
Yeah.
All the bloody authorities do. They see you muck up, doesn't matter how old you are these days, they're just going to throw you in jail, especially if you're on drugs. I mean, give the kid a chance, mate. If he's on drugs, put him in rehab. If he keeps reoffending multiple times, then send him to jail.
Okay, so here's another thing too, right? I was watching this thing the other day. I don't know, do you know the guy Spanian?
No.
Okay, so there's this Aussie rapper or whatever, and he's been on and off drugs all his life, right? And he was saying that one of the main problems when it comes to rehab and getting off drugs is because they try to coddle you with like enabling things like, oh, it's not your fault, it's a disease, it's this, it's that. And he was saying the main thing that made him stop everything was shame and shaming himself. Because he goes, you know what, like if I look at myself in the mirror and I call myself a piece of shit, then I'm the one that's going to change it.
Oh,
but
right.
if somebody's telling me, oh, it's not your fault, it's just this, it's just that, it's like basically saying, oh, it's okay, you just do you. And they're hugging you. But they can't say it these days because of the PC culture, you know? And trying not to, like, they're trying to prevent people from committing suicide when they're becoming clean, right? And the thing is like, some people use it as a crutch so that they don't dive into the deep end of committing suicide, right? But if the objective of life is to better your life, the person has to see that their life is not worth living a certain way to change it.
Yeah.
It's like this, yeah. If you're a criminal, yeah, and you're committing crimes all the time because that's the only way that you make money, and you see all the benefits of it, everyone knows who you are. You're a good person. You're one of the boys, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
It's all gone.
you hit that point where it's like, this isn't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to. Then you can create the change. But
right.
unless you continue the path, it's like we're creatures of habit, of comfort, you know?
You can't quit something unless you want to do it. Like, I've been told, I'm 33 years old, I've been told since the age of bloody 13, drugs are no good, drugs are this. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, drugs are bad, but God love me crystal meth, and I love me chuff. That's it. But I'm sick of people telling me that it's no good for me, it's no this, it's all this, it's all that. But at the end of the day, I'm the one taking it. I'm not pushing it onto you to use. So why is it bothering you? And I'll give up when I want to give up, not when I'm told to give up. I'm very rebellion.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, and that's from the German side of my family. My grandfather was German. But yes, may he rest in peace. But even my family side, they're happy with the way I am. Well, they still invite me around to family dues, even though I do not use the drugs around them. I'll smoke a few bongs with them, but that's about it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been on and off drugs, mixing, substituting, for the last 20 years. Exactly, 20 years exactly this year. I was an alcoholic for 10 years. And then now I've been a meth head for the last 8 years. In between, I've been in jail in the last 10 years, I've done 7.5 years jail. And I'm telling you what, if it wasn't for the fact that I'd done my 4-year sentence for the armed robbery, it's what made me smarten up. I haven't been back to jail since. That's going on 2017 I got released, Christmas. So, what's that? I'm doing alright, 4 years. As long as I've been out in the last 10 years. So, but the drugs, yeah, you're not ready to quit unless you want to quit.
Yeah, I agree. Like, for me, it was based on... I was always taught that people would be themselves more if they were on or under the influence of something.
Or if they're around their own sort of people.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like,
Comfort zone.
if you're around your own sort of people, yeah, but also, like, say, for example, you know, like, a lot of people that you don't know, like, if you get anxiety and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
and you use, say, alcohol to cut that anxiety,
Yeah.
that's a social lubricant. But, like, you know, in terms of weed, some people use weed as that too, as well,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Like,
Speaking of weed, I got weedy.
it's one of those things where, like, I feel like there's comfort in certain patterns, you know?
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't want to change unless you want to change, you know
That's
what I
right.
mean? Like, everyone can tell you till you're blue in the face that it's bad and it's the worst and whatever, right?
That's right.
But until
You've
you
had-
see that yourself, then you're not going to want to fucking change.
Or even if
You
you've
do
lived in
shit,
it,
you know?
it took me to live a certain experience to get off the alcohol. But I don't know, it's going to take a lot for me to get off the meth. It's, for me, I'm the happiest person in the world. I'm the nicest person you could ever approach. I mean, like, when I'm not on it, I just want to, you know, huddle up in the corner and sit there on my own and be antisocial. But when I'm on it, there's more pros than there are cons for me. I don't get angry on it. I've never once have I ever been angry
Even
on
when you're coming down?
even when I'm coming down. I don't know why, it's something that just clicks with it.
But, I mean, here's another
I'm
thing
clean,
too,
I'm
right?
clean user.
Some people, like, it's like they have split personalities on it, you know? Like, I've seen people that
That's
are
when they get
super confident in when they're sober, and then when they have it, they're very paranoid and schizophrenic-like, you know? And then I've had other people that are very, like you said, like, dissociate from the world and stuff around them, and they become more alert and more... aware of their environment and more sociable, like more of a, it's like they turn from an introvert to an extrovert within a matter of seconds, you know? And that for me, like, for a long time, like, that's what kept me in the loop, was because I felt like if I was sober, I didn't have any friends. If I was,
feels like that.
it does,
It
you know?
really
And
does
then
it,
when
you
you're
know?
when you're on it, everyone's your friend.
That's right.
Everyone wants to hang out
When you're
with
not
you,
on
right?
it, they don't want to know you.
And that's the comfort thing that I was talking about. It's like that bubble, you know?
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with being, like, I think here's the one thing that I've learned at growing older is that the more you work on yourself, the people that you're outgrowing are going to leave you. But the people that are with you and growing with you, they're the ones that stay with you, you know? And some people you need to outgrow. Some people
Oh yeah, you
will
can't
drag
have the
you
same
down,
person in
you
your
know what
life
I mean?
forever.
It's just...
Like,
do you have anyone in your life that is you're still friends with since school?
I can honestly say no.
Really, bro?
Not that I can remember. No, I'm not.
So
Since my car accident, I lost a lot of friends. But I even lost myself in my car accident. It's like I came out a whole new me. And it's weird.
So tell me, what is something that if you could tell you something in 5 years, right? Like, just imagine this video is coming out, right, within the next month or something, right?
Yeah.
And you find out what the video is, and you don't look at it for 5 years. What is something that you tell yourself for 5 years?
You might be living it large, but money's not going to last forever. So either grow up, make your decisions now before it's too late, or otherwise you're just going to end up in the same routine, getting up every time you're after crashing and you want to chase it all over again. It's not worth it. Use the money for something wise instead of on the drugs. I've got a 15-year-old son who just turned 15 about 7 days ago. I was using my money that I got from the car accident for a house for him. I still got majority of it, but I've also spent a lot of it on shit. I'll buy something like this, a scooter or a laptop, and I usually sell it within the first week. This I've had for about 3 weeks, sorry. And I've had to graffiti it, so I don't. So I'll graffiti it. Started graffitiing it.
So you don't sell it, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, that's right. So, but for me to have to do that, that's saying something. Whatever that is, I need time to figure it out, but I would tell myself to grow up while I'm still in the headspace of thinking that way.
Okay. So do you have any wise words of wisdom to someone that's maybe gone through a similar situation as yourself? You know, someone who's been in and out of jail and been on drugs and stuff like that.
Don't give up. And my favourite saying is, make the most of today, because yesterday's already been and tomorrow may never come.
I like that, bro.
Thanks.
It's like memento mori.
I came up with it about 4 months ago. Believe it or not, I was sitting there on my own, shutting off my head. And I've been up for 3-4 days. I was on my own for the last, for about 2 days. And then I ended up with schizophrenia. I have a voice in my head. His name's Stuart. I have physical encounters with him, which makes me end up in hospital.
Yeah. Do you feel as if the drugs induce the psychosis or a state of schizophrenia?
When I'm not on my own. When I'm on my own, it does. When I'm with people, it makes me forget all about it. I just enjoy it, make the most of it. One thing I've learned in my life about drugs, if you're going to do a drug, do the one drug, don't mix it. Don't mix
Keep
it.
it simple. Keep it
That's
simple.
right. Don't mix it. You know what I mean, that's how you end up aggro.
So do you take medication for schizophrenia?
Yeah, I do.
Does it conflict with your high?
No,
No.
no.
Does it stop the voices somewhat to a degree?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Do you think that it alters your personality in a way? Like, does it numb you from feeling certain things, or do you eat a lot more? Do you gain weight? Like, what's the side effects of taking it? Is it more positive than bad, or?
To be honest with you, I don't know how to answer that because I haven't thought of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I reckon I eat more. I'm always hungry.
Well, if you're on meth, it's probably a good thing that you're eating more, bro.
Yeah, but it's
You
not
know?
a good thing when you're losing a kilo after eating bread for 6 days.
Yeah, that's true.
Go through 8 loaves of bread in 6 days and you lose a kilo. It's a bit unheard of, but I stacked this in the other day.
So, what's the strangest dream you've ever had, or that you remember having?
My first ever wet dream. I was in jail. It's 2015. And it was over getting hit, nearly getting hit by a train.
That was your first wet dream?
Yeah.
I've gotten hit by a train in a dream. Got cut in half.
I didn't get hit, I nearly got hit. I just rolled onto the platform in time.
Did you like come in your
Yeah.
pants when you woke up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
First ever one in my life. Not even 30 yet. I'm 33 now, but... Oh, yeah.
What about
I never thought I'd say that on the internet.
Well, what about here's one thing as well. Like in terms of your relationships with people, right? You were saying that you're a generally good person and you still contact with your family and stuff like that. So, what is your relationship with your family and your friends? Do you feel like you distance yourself because you feel somewhat of a burden to certain people, or do you feel like you're a good role model, or do you feel as if like you have more friends when you're sober, like I said before, like more friends when you're high versus when you're sober? Like,
When I'm sober, I feel like I actually have a family that cares. It's weird to explain. I don't know how to explain it really. When I'm sober, I have a family. When I'm on drugs, I don't. If you know what I mean. My friends, when I'm on drugs, my friends are my family. It's like there's a time to grow up, there's a time to be mature, and a time to act immature, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's the sort of situation I get into. It's very confusing.
Do you feel like do you believe in like
Sure, I know you.
life like runs in cycles and shit? Do you believe that?
How do you mean?
Like, for example, like I feel as if like I date certain women that have very similar traits to the previous women that I've dated, and I don't know if that's because that's my type, or whether it's like, you know, it's like a lesson that I have to learn from these women that I'm dating, you know?
Or if it's been imprinted on you throughout your life.
Yeah, like, or what if it's like we're reliving things again, you know?
They say that we usually date the people that, like, we date our parents.
I've heard that, and that
If
scares
that's
the
really
shit out of me, man.
Oh shit.
That scares the shit out of me, man.
I think that's where the Tasmanian thing comes from.
But I also think like the way that you perceive what love is and receive love is the same way that your parents have taught you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because everyone has like what they say, a love language, right? So like some people like to have time with people, and other people prefer to have gifts rather than time.
Yes, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and that's where this whole simping culture
Yeah,
is.
it's like
where
some people
I'm gonna
want
buy
money
stuff
and-
for my
yeah.
girlfriend for her to love me. You know,
It's like me, if I don't spend my money on drugs, I could spend every cent I've got in my account on something else. That's ridiculous. I spend my money before I've even been paid.
Do you feel like there's more freedom when you don't have money?
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes I do too. Well.
I understand that. And yeah, sometimes you gotta take a little to gain a little. To get somewhere in life.
All right, butter. I'm gonna love and leave you.
Yep.
Cheers, bro.
Thanks, mate.